Coming up on 17 years ago, our country faced national tragedy. On September 11th of 2001, a famous date of the terrorist attack on not only the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, but the U.S. as an entire country will forever haunt American lives. If you would ask any adult who was old enough on this anniversary where exactly they were or what they were doing during the morning of the 11th, they can certainly describe every single moment with incredible detail. According to the National Association of Injured and Disabled Workers, there were a total of nearly 3,000 deaths on this morning. This number includes not only civilians, but also first responders and veterans as well. I personally am thankful to be an American where there are individuals who would risk their lives for others, and especially thankful for the ones who began an amazing organization known as the Wounded Warrior Project. The Wounded Warrior Project, or WWP, as you'll hear me refer to, was initiated after the 9/11 attack and continues to support those who were affected closely. The WWP also provides support for those who have fought afterwards for our nation as well. I'm not going to go into too much background on the major cause, the 9/11 attacks, but briefly, 4 planes were hijacked and 2 flew into the Twin Towers, causing an explosion. There were thousands of individuals who worked in both of these buildings. It was a largely populated business center, and thousands died and thousands more were injured that day. This shifted the entire environment for those who were already enlisted in the military, no matter what branch. It put a lot of pressure on them, and it started a world-renowned war. Also, this event was crucial to have many other people enlist in the military as well. A lot of soldiers will say that the major reasons that they decided to enlist was because of the attack. Another major point of why the WWP was founded was the lack of care for veterans post-combat. According to the National Library of Medicine, there are over 1 million veterans who do not have any access to health care still today. And it's contributing to the death not only by physical health issues, but mental health issues as well. Veterans are more likely to commit suicide than other civilians. This needed to change, and the founders of WWP knew that they were going to be the one that were going to help. WWP provides a lot of help for veterans and also their families. The major component that everyone would think of is the physical and psychological help from WWP that touches lives every single day. WWP has programs specifically designed for veterans for physical and mental health. These could fall under the Physical Health and Wellness Program or the Combat Stress Recovery Program. The Physical Health and Wellness Program includes coaching, PT, physical training, wellness and nutrition education, and this is not only limited to the veterans, but it also includes the families and caregivers, as I stated before. The Combat Stress Recovery Program relates to veterans with combat stress, PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, and traumatic brain injuries. They encourage veterans to come out in the open and talk about their mental health, which is kind of hard for men and women who have been through it all and are not used to talking about their feelings with everyone, as it was sort of a prideful thing to not do. But WWP also provides retreats for veterans to go on, and this also encourages to talk about mental health and to understand that no one is alone through this. Jobs and degrees for veterans have also increased over the years through WWP. They make it possible for veterans to gain access to employment with the Warriors to Work programs. These support veterans by giving them the ability to career build and be guided through the process of converting to the workforce that we are also used to. It's very different from a combat veteran to go into an office job after not re-enlisting than it is for us to come right out of college and go into an office job. Specialists that work with WWP work closely with veterans and families to prepare interviews, write resumes, etc. Anything else that's going to help get ready for a job. WWP not only helps someone get ready for the workforce, but also makes recommendations to employers throughout the country on which candidates would be a good fit for the position. This is a great networking system, and it helps veterans become employed, but also looks great on a company's side too. It's It's known that it's a great thing for our company to hire veterans. It looks very good to the public. WWP also helps financially with furthering education. If a veteran is not quite ready for the workforce yet, say if they're really young, or they would just like to get a college degree as well, they are certainly able to fund that. Military families around the country are brought together through WWP in many different ways. As I stated before, these benefits that the veterans get do not only apply to the veterans, but also the families and caregivers. While veterans have been away for months, even years, that's a source of income that's going to be very different for families, especially say dad went away and mom's at home with the 3 kids. That's going to be a very big struggle for mom financially. Having healthcare and other benefits available to the families assures that everyone's accounted for and everyone's taken care of. There's also marriage counseling available to the veterans and their spouses if needed. When a veteran has been seriously injured in combat and say cannot work right away after he gets out, that can put a ton of stress on anyone affected. Therefore, the benefits being available to the members of the family is very, very important. There's also fun events for family members to bring them together and have a good time. Also, there are peer networks specifically based upon regions where the warriors live, and they can meet and discuss their lives together. With such a selfless organization as the WWP, it's hard to imagine why any American would not support it. Regardless of one's take on war, we are still very thankful for the men and women who risk their lives every day to give us our freedom. Instead of wasting money on frivolous items that you won't remember you bought in a year, we should all realize that there are those who fight for our country, who deserve the world and are barely scraping by. I am so glad that there are individuals out there who give to those who make our daily living possible. There are days where we wake up and think that we may have it the worst, but WWP makes us appreciate just how great we have it and helps us share that with others who have earned it. Thank you.